So you're saying that the data is updated once an hour, so you do a scrape of all the data once an hour and then your portal just uses that data?
So basically we've got scheduled programs that run at predetermined times that create a file, secure the FTP it to the server, and we've got error monitoring if it fails and whatever. Touch wood, it tends to be quite reliable, but we get an error message if it fails. So it works. But we want to go to real-time information, because some things it would be good to have real-time information, but it's just a matter of that technology, having it running and then slotting it into a bit of this, that stock levels might be important, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because within the environment, Bill has worked on lots of other systems within the manufacturing, stock counting, replenishment. So this is part of an overall modernisation, isn't it? Is that the right word, Bill?
Yeah.
Modernisation.
I mean, there's no reason why you can't build on this platform for other departments. Like, there's a lot of. I worked in finance. I'm an accountant. I would have loved to have this when I was in finance, because in finance you spend an awful lot of time doing repetitive jobs that really the system should do, and you should be just.
And also going to the different business departments, chasing them up, and getting their figures. Really.
Yeah.
So it's all there anyway.
It's all there.
It's all there.
It's all there, yeah.
And you see, you can just download it to Excel. So if you want all the information, just click a button, and you've got all the detail for you to further manipulate if somebody wants to.
Yeah. Any more questions? Okay, Simon's going to finish now with a song. What was that song you? You know the song?
We're over time. We haven't
All
had
right.
the gong.
Okay.
Oh.
Thanks,
for
guys.
coming
That's
and
great.
talking, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for
No
coming
problem.
over.
No problem at all. Thanks, guys.
As they say, the check's in the post.
Good.
Well, he's got to be good, because I've got to drive him back to the airport. So. But I thought, different to a lot of the other sessions, I wanted to show a solution to a problem which gives the business benefit, and I think that's where we come from, differently to a lot of the other suppliers. You're the same, aren't you, Sam? Really, you're trying to give value, and this Bill can not only say I've saved the business $1 million, but he can continue to develop more and more savings and drive the supply chain to be more efficient. Dual sourcing is one thing, because one of the issues is, as is for COVID, it's supply reliability.
Yeah.
If you've got all your eggs in one basket and that chip factory burns down, you're stuffed. I can remember I was on site and there was a problem with the little resistor things that come in a reel.
Yeah.
And they'd actually got DHL to get a guy to fly in a plane from China to Ireland. He actually arrived in reception. Here's the box, because it kept the factory going for a week. You imagine what that cost, DHL couriering this. So you want to avoid that. So dual sourcing is another thing of de-risking the supply chain, because Mick gets rather upset if production's down, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, if you have people standing around, it's costing you money, huge money, and more than it costs to air freight to stock in. But now it's at the stage where that was grand when there was an emergency on, but now you have to just get back to basics and get your costs down. So that's why this information is
But
crucial.
it is modernisation. It's certainly something that IMS sees in a lot of clients, that looking at the business processes, no matter what the application is, whether it's bespoke or an info product or SAP, people are not using them well because of lack of training, whatever implementation, and they're doing things really basic. And you see people printing things off and keying it into a spreadsheet, and or printing off on green and white paper. I still have clients that use that. And it comes in the morning and IT split it and put it in different envelopes. And here we are in 2023 when that finished in the 1990s. So it's trying to get these companies, it's never IT it's the problem, it's normally the business or the management or the lack of ability to spend money. It's trying to drag them, what I call, into the 21st century.
Digital transformation.
Yeah. Huge. Now,
it's not just quantifiable though. I presume your supplier relationships with the buyers, everything just runs that much smoother.
Yeah.
Through the whole process.
It used to be a case that a supplier would come in to visit you and he'd go out shocked that you're not impressed with some parts of his business. Our deliveries are bad. We don't think our deliveries are bad. And we'd be saying, well, we do. Whereas now that ambiguity is gone, they see it all. They can do their homework before they walk in the door, which saves everyone time. Just one last thing. If I was doing this in 6 months' time, I would show you another thing. It's very simple, but it's very effective. It will list, our new module will list every component we buy, and it'll show the different suppliers we buy it off, and it'll actually give me the ability now. So if I'm buying the same item off two guys, one of them is €9, the other one is $9.50, I'll be able to move the arrow, and it'll show me the cost saving if I change the mix. Sometimes we have to have a supplier that's a little bit more expensive because you want to keep supply going, but you can reduce it a little bit and save a lot of money by doing that. So it's just an added thing. Again, all the information is in on the system. We're just manipulating it then.
From my point of view, you've then got the ability to then say, well, they're a bit more expensive, but they've got a 99% delivery rate.
Exactly.
And they're also environmentally sound,
Yeah.
etc. So yes, they're worth the extra little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
It's not,
exactly.
It's not always down to that bottom line.
No, exactly.
Are any of the messages auto-generated, or is it all somebody reacting? Like if you look at the figures and then you say, I need to talk to so-and-so, yeah, I'll send him a message and he'll see it at the bottom of the screen, or does the system send the message to that person and say,
No.
we've got an issue with this part being late?
No, the system doesn't send any messages. All the system does is, like at the moment now, if I'm a supplier, the system will, I'll go back in again. If I go in here as a supplier, let me just select this one. It's giving me a prompt saying you have one new document which requires your review. We can, and we're thinking about that. We can change that so it flags if there's an urgent part. But at the moment, that's saying the guy hasn't signed his rebate contracts. But we do have the ability to change this so that if we change the MRP, we could flag it so that he gets a message.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think the functionality is there. We just haven't tapped into all of it yet.
One of the things that I'm sure all you guys are familiar with is the quality of the data. And obviously you're reliant upon the data. Bill doesn't set up all the items, they've been set up over the last 20 years. And it's only when you start getting into detail, as we all know, you drill down, you find, oh, that supplier's got country of origin of United States, but it's obviously coming from China. So that's the sort of issue. To get really smart, you've got to get that data reviewed and updated, which is a manual job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or it's sometimes entered. If it's new country of origins, a lot of them were blank. So you've got to collate it. Where was it actually made? You bought it from Germany. Was it made in Germany, or was it made in China and imported in Germany and shipped over? So all that can take a lot of time. So you need to be. We've had a lot of issues, haven't we, with quality of data.
Yeah, but it's a good exercise because if you have rubbish in, it's rubbish out.
Yeah.
So I mean, if this portal highlighted those things that needed to be sorted, it's good from that perspective as well. Because otherwise, rubbish information is only as good as you make it.
I mean, it's a classic thing we come across a lot on systems. You've got, I know there were some purchase orders from 2001 still on the system.
Yeah.
So according to the system, they were outstanding from 2001 because everybody ignored them, but nobody actually cleared them down. They just left
No one
them
saw
there.
them.
No.
No one saw them. It's only when you
Yeah.
see it on the portal that you
And
can-
we
you
see
can
that
check
a
it by
lot
date.
with applications, that you develop this wonderful application, you put it in test, you start using it, and then you get these issues. Some of them are development, or perhaps it wasn't quite what you wanted, but a lot of it is quality of data, which you can't test normally, and even either an up-to-date test environment, which often isn't the case, or it's literally when it goes live that you just find these things that you get these idiosyncrasies because people aren't aware of the importance of the data. When they engineering create some of the items, they're mostly interested in things that relate to engineering. They're not interested in country of origin. Why would they be? But so you've got to enforce down the chain, isn't it?
Yeah.
That guys, when you set something, you've got to set up all this information for the whole system to work. Currency, standard cost, or whatever.
One knock on we did have is when we set it up first, suppliers did come back to us and say those purchase orders are closed on our system, which was great because they actually helped us to clean up the system then.
Yeah. They're feeding back into the data.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
for
That's
that.
great. Thank you.